Alright, you guys, so it's the Arrow After Show, Season 1, Episode 9, entitled The Climb. It's the mid-season finale to Arrow, and my initial reaction is, what the fuck? Alright, so I'm definitely going to be talking about the ending. Don't you worry, your pretty little faces about that. But, as always, talk about the positives and the negatives of The Climb, the mid-season finale of Arrow. Positives, the cuts of Oliver climbing the mountain in between commercial breaks, like when it would go to come back from a commercial break and stuff like that. There'll be like shots of we just see Oliver just climbing a mountain, and we all pretty much knew what that was about. But I liked seeing those kind of cuts. It was cool. Maseo, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's the guy that was in Hong Kong with Oliver. We find out that he's a member of the League of Assassins, or the League of Shadows, or whatever you want to call it. On the show, they call it the League of Assassins, but uh, we seen him in present day when Nessa and Oliver are talking, and then Maseo removes his mask, revealing that he is a member of the League of Assassins. I didn't really see that coming, to be honest with you. Um, so it's good to see, him in present day, so we know he doesn't die anytime in Hong Kong. But something happens in Hong Kong that I'm actually pretty excited. This has made me excited for the Hong Kong flashbacks now, to see what's going to happen. Why does Maseo join the League of Assassins? I can't wait till we get to that. Um, the Arrow team believes that Thea killed Sarah. Now, yes, it is revealed that Thea was the one who killed Sarah. And just the Arrow team, their reactions and how they truly believe that, okay, it makes sense for Thea to be the killer. We don't like it, but it makes sense. I'm going to talk about that more in my negatives, but I like their whole reaction to it. And then Ray Palmer, finally tells Felicity a little bit on his backstory and what his whole plan is, and why he's doing what he's doing, and why things got weirded out after they kissed, and I liked that we got more of his backstory, and it wasn't like a bunch of flashbacks or anything like that. He sat Felicity down and he said, "Look, this is why I acted weird after the kiss. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing with the Atom Project and all that kind of stuff." So I like that. What else we got here? All right, Arrow busts through Thea's window, and Thea's all at first she's all like, because she's trying to get answers, um, about Malcolm and her, and killing Sarah, and he's trying to find out, could my sister really do this? And he busts through the window. Took me back to season one, because he hasn't really done that much since season one. Just bust through a window all angry like that. And then Thea, at first, she's all freaking out a little bit, and then she starts kicking a little bit of ass, and then jumps out the window. And I was expecting Oliver to pull off his hood and be like, "What the fuck?" That's what I was kind of hoping would go down, but no, that didn't happen. But he now knows that Thea has learned to fight. So I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with that, because Oliver now knows that Thea knows how to fight and all of that, and he probably quickly figured out that it was Malcolm Merlyn that trained her. He didn't confirm that, but I'm pretty sure he knows. Oliver's not a stupid guy. Um, and then Oliver challenges Ra's al Ghul, or a lot of people are gonna say, well, it's Ra's al Ghul. Well, I'm calling him Ra's al Ghul, okay, because that's how I've always known to pronounce him, was Ra's al Ghul. Hell, even in Batman Begins, they called him Ra's and not Ra's. So, you know what? Yeah, I call him Ra's al Ghul. But anyway, Oliver goes to Ra's al Ghul and was like, "Look, I'm challenging you to a fight." And then Ra's al Ghul says, "No one's challenged me to a fight in like 67 years." Confirming that the Lazarus Pit does exist in the Arrow universe, so that's pretty exciting. And Oliver had some balls going up against Ra's al Ghul, but I'll talk about that, of course. Um, And then Oliver tells Felicity that he loves her. Now, this is all my positives, not because I'm an Felicity fan. I like the chemistry between Oliver and Felicity as friends. I could see it working as a relationship. It's just right now, I don't think it's the right time for them to get together. With Sarah just dying, that's not good for Oliver, and with her with Felicity kind of getting closer to Ray Palmer, I just don't think it's the right time for them to get together. But the fact that he said, look, he pretty much said, I genuinely love you. Because he says, I love you to Felicity. But this is on my positives because he's accepting the fact that there's a possibility that he may not come back. Um, and so I like the fact that he's prepared to die in a way, and so I did like that scene a lot. It was a good scene between the two, and with that ending, which I will get to once again, but I'm gonna see how she's going to feel when we come back. Um, all right, and then Ray asking Felicity for help on the Atom Project. I like this because I don't know too much about the Atom character. I've said this before, I'll say it again. I never read any of the Green Arrow comics, never liked the Green Arrow character until the show. Um, but I still haven't read up on anything. I did learn a few things about the comics that hasn't happened on the show yet, but, um, the fact that Ray trusts Felicity enough to say, look, you want in on this or not? I think that's really good, and once again, it's a way for them to get a little bit closer, so I appreciated that. Um, Ra's al Ghul. Here we go. Ra's al Ghul versus Oliver Queen on top of the mountain. And this is the first time, because when Ra's al Ghul first came onto the show, like when he was first seen, because we've been hearing about him since like early on season 2, maybe even the end of season 1. I don't remember for sure, but in the beginning of season 2, the League of Assassins was brought in, and Ra's al Ghul was talked about but never, shown. The beginning of this season, he came in for a brief minute, but this is the first time that we got to see him fight. And I'm like, well, I don't know how I feel about this actor playing Ra's al Ghul yet because I haven't seen him in action. In this episode, we got to see him in action. Ra's al Ghul is a badass. He's a badass motherfucker. And he's a big dude, too. Like, not in the front, but he's a wide motherfucker. So, and for a minute there, he's fighting Oliver Queen with his hands behind his back. And then there's that scene where, Oliver picks the two swords to fight him with. And Oliver looks at Ra's and he goes, you don't have anything. He's like, you don't have any weapons on you. And Ra's al Ghul goes, I'll take your blades as soon as you're done with them. I'm like, holy shit, this guy ain't fucking around. But that whole fight was bad ass. I loved every minute of that fight, and I've watched it on YouTube, since then. Here we go, the ending that shocked us all. Ra's al Ghul kills Oliver. He stabs him, I think, in the heart. It looked like that's where he stabbed him at. He stabs him in the heart and just kicks him off the cliff, off the mountaintop. And I did not see that coming at all. I don't know if any of you guys did. I mean, I knew that, Oliver didn't stand a chance against Ra's al Ghul, but I didn't think he would die. Um, Obviously, he's the main star of the show, so he's coming back. We know that he won't be in the next few episodes, at least for a brief minute. He might be in it for a brief minute, as like in flashbacks and stuff, but he's not going to be the main focus of the next few episodes, at least. So I can't wait to see, because we all know Oliver's going to the Lazarus Pit, baby. Yeah, so I'm really excited to see that. And, there's so many possibilities of, well, who takes him to the Lazarus Pit? Since there is a Lazarus Pit, is there a way that Tommy could be in the Lazarus Pit? Or is Tommy alive again already? Or, I just really want Tommy to come back. So, yeah, that's... Now, I haven't talked about Malcolm Merlyn in this episode. He was there. He did a couple things that were kind of important. Like, he tells Oliver, he's like, look, you need to go face Ra's al Ghul. And I'll kind of talk about that in a minute here, but let's get into the negatives. Laurel telling Thea, there's a moment where in the beginning of the episode we see Laurel at Sarah's grave. Thea's there visiting her mom's grave, and they kind of bump into each other. And, Laurel, she's the worst at keeping secrets. If you guys watch How I Met Your Mother, you know how Lily, Allison Hannigan's character, was bad at keeping secrets. I think Laurel's worse. Um, Laurel cannot keep a secret for shit. But she goes up to Thea and goes, "My sister's dead!" And then when her mom comes back into town, her mom can, right away she can tell there's something not right with Laurel, and she sits her down and goes, "What's going on?" And you know, um, she looks at her mom and goes, "My sister's dead." I'm like, all right, this is getting a little ridiculous. You can tell literally everybody else except your father, and I get it, the whole heart attack thing, but don't you think, I've said this before, don't you think it's going to hurt him worse finding out much, much later and knowing that everybody else knew this entire time and he didn't know shit? I think it's going to hurt him a lot worse. Um, so yeah. Thea killing Sarah. I'm not 100% convinced that Thea is the one who killed Sarah. I think there's something much more going on here, and there's a scene where Malcolm Merlin's telling Oliver, he's like, "Look, we used this drug to basically brainwash her, so she didn't know what she was doing." But it's like, okay, why would you brainwash your own daughter? What's this whole purpose of you? Because Malcolm Merlin, he knows that Oliver didn't stand a chance against Ra's al Ghul. He knows that Oliver was going to probably die, and he still sent him up there. Why would he send him up there when Oliver's the only one protecting him? What is Malcolm Merlin's motivation? What is his whole plan? I don't know. I can't wait to find out. I'm still not 100% convinced that Thea is the one who killed Sarah. Maybe I'm completely wrong, and it is, in fact, Thea who killed Sarah. But there's got to be more to it. I have that feeling that there's more to it that we don't know yet. Um, so yeah. Going back to that scene where Laurel tells her mom about Sarah, Laurel's mom responds with, she's like, "Make them suffer, make them pay." It's all like, okay, like, just be cool, lady, damn. Um, I understand your sisters, but she was going, "Oh, I get it, your daughter's dead, but, ooh." Yeah. I'm like, alright, that was kind of a little too over the top. It was a little overreaction, if you ask me. Um, and besides, your one daughter is dead. You're divorced from your husband. You really don't have much left. And now you want your only surviving child to go out there and risk her life. She could possibly die too. And her mom just has no care in the world. When it comes to that aspect. And going back to Thea being brainwashed, I don't like the whole fact that she was brainwashed. If she is, like I said, yes, we've seen the footage of her killing Sarah, but I'm not 100% convinced that it is Thea. I There's got to be more to it than that. And the fact that she was brainwashed, it's just like, okay. I guess that makes sense because Thea, if it was Thea, she wouldn't do it, where she knew what she was doing. I don't think she would have a reason to kill Sarah. Um, but yeah, the whole thing about being brainwashed, I don't like that aspect of it. So guys, that's season 3, episode 9, the mid-season finale of Arrow for season 3. And if you guys saw the episode, let me know in the comments below what you thought about it. You can also, I'm going to plug myself right here. Fans of Arrow, I'm assuming if you're watching my after shows that you are a fan of Arrow. There's a Facebook page that you can go over and click that like button that I've created. It's an Arrow fan page. It's called Arrow Fan City. Just go to facebook.com, type in Arrow Fan City in the search bar, whatever. Go give it a like. And if you're interested in becoming an admin, because I am still looking for people to help run the page when I can exactly get everything up in time, make sure content keeps getting up, interacting with people, trying to build the page up a bit. That's my whole goal with this thing. I have one for the Flash too, but I'll talk about it more on my Flash after show. But But yeah, go over and like Aerofan City. Would really appreciate it. Thanks, guys, for watching the after show. And we're going to end this like I end all my regular videos with an awkward pause. And yeah. Well, see you later.